The 2016 Nissan Maxima sits in kind of a strange place in the automotive world. It's not a woman, but it's definitely not a girl. It's for those who want a luxury-ish, sporty-ish, family-ish kind of four-door sedan.
Regardless, the Maxima is definitely a looker. It's about 2 inches longer than the outgoing model, while losing 1.3 inches in height and shedding over 80 pounds. The blacked-out pillars give the illusion of a floating roof, but it's the body lines that steal the show. This sideline starts at the rear door and then emphasizes the slightly flared front fender and really gives the car a feeling of forward motion. Our SR trim line comes with 19-inch aluminum alloy wheels rolling on all-season rubber.
Okay, first let's talk about this continuously variable transmission, right? I know why Nissan did it. They did it because it gets good gas mileage. This car's got an EPA fuel rating of 22 in the city, 30 out on the highway, and 25 combined, and that's really good, especially because this is a 3.5-liter V6, good for 300 horsepower and 261 pound-feet of torque. In fact, the best that I found, I got about 31 miles per gallon on one of my trips. So I get it, Nissan, it's great. The problem is, I've got 300 horsepower and I give it the beans, and then it just falls flat on its face. I mean, it's like all 300 horsepower just get farted right out the CVT. Now, you can mitigate that experience a little bit by operating it from the paddle shifters, but still, it's a fakey. The first thing I noticed when I got in this car is a smaller than average diameter steering wheel with a flat bottom, and that smallness really helps you feel like you're getting some great quick inputs. But here's the kicker. It's tuned so that it's heavier at slower speeds and lighter at quicker speeds, right? And that doesn't make any sense. I want my car to weight up at speed. I want the steering to feel heavier when I'm taking a turn at speed because I want to know exactly where my wheels are all the time. Now, that feeling of lightness in the steering is mitigated a little bit by putting the car into sport mode. Yes, we have a sport mode. That's going to change your throttle mapping, it'll change your transmission, your exhaust sound, but it also weights up your steering. So I found that I was driving mostly in sport mode. Our SR trim line has got a sport tuned suspension, so the ride may be a little rough for people who are expecting a smooth and silky like butter ride. This one ain't it. And the Maxima SR has got Nissan's answer to torque vectoring. It's called active trace control, and that's going to apply the brake to both the inner and the outer wheels while you're in turns to kind of help keep you going along the right path. Now, when you give it the gas right off the line, there's some torque steer. And why is there torque steer? Because this is a front-wheel drive car. So right away, this can't be a sports sedan, and it can't be a luxury sedan because it's front-wheel drive. Front-wheel drive is for family sedans. So if you want a real sports sedan, you're gonna have to go with maybe a BMW 3 Series or a Dodge Charger. If you want a true luxury, look for a Hyundai Genesis, maybe an E-Class. And if you want something that's all family all the time, Toyota Avalon or maybe a Chevy Impala. This is trying to do all of those things, right? It's got a sport mode, but it's got a CVT. It's got heated and cooled seats. Oh, but it's also front-wheel drive. Like, there's a lot of different options that are going on in this car, and it just can't commit to one single category. Nissan has given us intelligent cruise control. It's basically an adaptive cruise control system that will work between 20 and 90 miles an hour. So you just set up the system, you let it follow the car in front of you, the car in front of you brakes, your car will brake, but if you come to a complete stop, it won't continue on its own. You do have to reset it. Now, when all of these adaptive cruise controls started coming into our press cars, at first as a driver, I thought, man, this is just not good. This is the next step towards autonomous driving, but now that I've had it in traffic, best thing ever.
The redesign of the outside in 2016 continues on to the interior. Everything is very driver-centric, with the touchscreen angled towards the driver and the high center console marking a clear line between driver and passenger.
An 8-inch color touchscreen is standard, as well as a 7-inch active driving display in the gauge cluster. There's also a redundant knob down here in the console, so I can operate the system in 2 ways. Now, navigation is standard. I can choose a destination on 8 different points, including by phone number. So it only works for businesses, so don't try to put my phone number in and figure out where I live, okay? Now, inputs are lightning fast. So for example, if I put in the address for Roadshow HQ, I mean, look at that. There's no lag whatsoever.
One feature that I did miss is the pretty cool 360-degree around view monitor. Now that shows a bird's eye view of your car that's helpful for parking, but you're gonna have to upgrade to the top of the line Platinum trim line to get that. Another bummer is this incredibly old school mechanical parking brake. Sure, it's a little thing, but if Nissan wants to position the Maxima as a luxury vehicle, it can't have the same parking brake found on a 1981 Jeep.
So where does that leave us? Well, the 2016 Nissan Maxima in the SR trim line comes in at $38,750. Now that's a lot of scratch for a car that can't decide if it's a family sedan, a sports sedan, or a luxury sedan. Still, there's a lot of people out there that can't commit to being one particular kind of customer either. That's it for today. I'm Emmy Hall for Roadshow. Thanks for watching.